brushes is. Can you guys still see my screen?
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta remember now, because I've been doing this to each and every brush as I start using it. So File, New, and okay. And okay, so that's white paper, and that's not what I want you to use, but where it says Tool Settings, okay, it's not there. It's in brushes. There they are. And how do I get there? Because each one of these, there it is. There. So every one of your brushes has one of these things. Let me see if I can still find it. And it is... Where is it? There it is.
How did you get to the subtool menu?
Oh yeah, I know. It hides, eh? So grab your brushes. You see this little wrench in the bottom?
Okay.
Click on that wrench. It'll bring this up.
Oh, okay.
And then you will go to a setting where it says opacity and make it visible. And then you have to save that brush. Okay? Because now you can go back in and you can now hold this over here. And then when I go to draw with it, whatever brush I selected, now I have control over the opacity of that brush. Cool. So I'm going to find a brush that I actually like. And each one of your brushes is set up this way, by the way. Here are my brushes. Right. Realistic, watercolor, Indian ink, thick ones. And your pencils are set up the same way. So there's a pencil, and it says real pencil. And the pencils do not have the same settings, but the brushes do. So there. Yeah, and I think I have set up all of mine to do that. So, oh, are you okay? Did you get to the location? Because you also have to get to the tool properties before you can get to that little hammer, that little wrench.
Yeah, I'm just opening it up.
Okay. Let me know when you're actually there. Yeah, because Paint Tool Sci, not Paint Tool Sci, but Clip Studio is like a very cool program. But if you want it to feel like you're drawing in it, you have to know how to get to the opacity.
I think it's opacity.
Okay. You're probably right.
I'm not native language English, so I wouldn't believe myself.
Both work. Opacity.
I got more brushes than that, but they're not showing. Come on. How do I stretch this down?
Alan, the gear isn't really showing up for me.
Okay, what you need to do, you see where it says subtool brushes? Go to tool properties. It should be right beside it. If it's not, can you see my screen?
Okay. Subtool brushes
and then right beside it there's another icon that says tool properties. Is it there for you? Let me see your screen and I'll help you. I'll talk you through it.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Sorry if I'm dragging everyone behind.
No.
Okay.
Does everybody else have Clip Studio too?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just here for the ride.
Same.
Okay. Do you see where it says subtool at the top? right at the top, right here. So yours is sitting like this on the thing. Yeah, so click the one beside it, and what happens?
Color set? This one? Oh.
Nope, it looks like we have to set it up so you can actually get to it. So let's try window, and let's see what settings you have. Okay, what one are you missing that I have clicked on? Color wheel, subtools. There it is, underneath right there. See where it says subtool details? Click on that. Right here.
Details, which is off the...
Right up the top.
Okay.
Oop. Go back to window. And go down just a little bit more.
Oh, okay.
There it is. Now put it into, drag that over and put it into the bar. You should be able to sneak it into that bar. If not, you're just going to have to keep opening that until you can figure out how to get it into that bar. But that should open up that, and then you will see at the bottom, you'll see that little icon. Can you see that icon? Oh, you're in it. Good. You are inside of it. And you click on ink, where it says ink, and you'll see opacity. And if you put the eyeball on it, you'll be able to see it in that brush if you save that brush. Yeah. Do you see okay. When I click on this and I open up that brush, do you see this eyeball here in there? Yeah.
Okay.
And then when you save it, it will always appear, the opacity will always appear in that brush for you.
Okay. So
Yeah,
I just need to press the eyeball button, and that's it.
Yeah. And then you can use it the same way to create that stuff that we were doing in Photoshop. And it will feel the same.
So I would have to save it as a default.
Yes.
Okay.
Otherwise, the next time you open up the program, you would have to go into those settings and change it all again. Yeah, and I think you can actually do it with the pencil as well, if you have pencil tools. See the opacity? Because I have been going through the Clip Studio and making sure that I can see that opacity bar all the time. Yeah, and that's how you're going to create the drawings the same way we were doing them in Photoshop. And it will then start feeling like painting instead of coloring stuff in. So I hope that makes sense for everyone. So how about you, Wilfred? Were you able to find that?
I'm recording, so I kind of can't use other software.
Okay. Hopefully I explained it well enough.
Yeah, I'll just set it up. I'll just rewatch the stuff and set it up later.
Okay. So does anybody else need help?
I do have work this time, I promise.
Okay. I will close Clip Studio and I will open up Photoshop again. Do you know what? You guys, this is a program called, I just want to show this to you because it's a really cool program and it's free now if you can actually find the website that's supporting it, because the company went out of business because one of the big
Hello?
Hello? I thought it was my computer.
Oh,
Yeah.
cut out.
And what kind of program this is? This has got this is a vector
Outline.
drawing program.
You cut out and we
Oh.
kind of missed part of it. Could you repeat?
Okay, yep, no problem. So what if you guys can see my screen, can you? And I opened up a program and I'll do it again. and it's called Mischief. And this is the icon for it. And if you guys do a Google search, and I think there's 1 or 2 websites left that you can get this program for free. And it's a full version because one of the big places decided to buy them out and put them out of business. So it's a very, very cool program, and it's a vector program, and it's a drawing program, and that's all it is. And if you guys want to see something really, really cool, because it's very, very smooth. Okay, I'm going to draw this circle, and then I'm going to start zooming out. Okay, and then I will draw another circle around it, because this is your palette, by the way. This is your drawing. How do you put it? This is your drawing page, but watch what it's going to do. And it's a vector program, so every one of these circles that I am drawing, I can go infinitely out or infinitely in, and it's not going to get pixelated. Now watch this. Okay, I'm going to zoom back in. See the lines? They're not pixelated. See how they're like correcting? They're okay, and now so I can keep going back into the original circle I did. Okay, that's the original circle. Is that not cool? And if I continue...
That looks way more intuitive than
it is.
The whole program of Adobe Illustration.
It is, and it's purely for drawing. And look at this. On this side, these are your brushes, and they're all pencils or they're ink. There's no actual painting brushes. They're all for just drawing. And this one here changes the size of your brush, and this one changes the opacity of it. So it now becomes, okay, so this is paper, and I can start drawing and sketching. And if I want to put it into, say, Photoshop, I clip out a section and then save it as a PDF or save it as a JPEG. But it's now free, this program, if you can find it on the web. But it's a vector program, and vector programs for drawing are so cool because you can do that. And it's like, see how, watch, it's like, if I don't mark that spot, I can lose it. But I can draw eyelashes on a ladybug. It's like, yeah. And it comes, see all this paper? It comes with different types of textured paper. It comes with graph paper. Cool. It comes with like paper that's like oat paper, and you can change the color of your background. You can change the type of paper. See, it's got line paper where you can Alan. And the cool thing is it's free, right? And it's like, and then you can, if you want, you can take that paper and you can like get rid of it because it's always going to be underneath. Yeah. So I just want to show you that. And I bought it when it was a full version sort of thing. So I paid money for it. But now it's free, and it has layers, so you can draw on top of layers too. So, yeah. So I don't know where the website is, but I know that there's 1 or 2 websites that will give you a free version of this. So I'll go back to Photoshop and I'll take a look at what you're drawing, and you can show me.
Yeah, I'll share my screen. I'm sharing already, I think. Can you see it?
Yeah. I'm zooming in.
So this is the project. So this is a project that we did for children's book illustration.
Okay.
I wanted to...
It's still loading for me.
Okay.
By the way, someone made a Google Drive link where you could download the Mischief program, the 2.1.6 version. I can just post it on the Room 1 text if anyone wants it.
Awesome. And because it's free and it's such a cool drawing program, I would recommend you guys play with it. And because you can save it as different files and put it into other programs, it's like, yeah. And because it's vector, you guys don't have to worry about, the side of your edge of your paper.
You can do
I can't seem to load.
Manuela, your live stream is glitched. It's not loading for anybody.
Yeah, I can't get.
So let me unshare and share again.
Yeah, I'm going to drop out and come back.
Can someone see it now?
Yep, I can see it now. It worked for me.
Oh, great.
Beautiful. Okay.
This is a project we did for children's book illustration last semester, and I did want to give it like a painterly style, but still feels digital.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think? How could I push this even more?
Yeah. So what I would suggest is working on the values. See, I'm going to show you something, and it's going to change your life. Okay, I'm going to take a screenshot, and then I will open it up, and hopefully, I can't get the whole thing. Why is it doing that? Anyways, I'll show you. And give me a second, because I'm saving it to my hard drive. And now I am opening it up in Photoshop. Whenever we do a painting,
did you share a screen?
Yeah, I will in a sec. And screen, and got it, and open. So this is how we're going to analyze it in the beginning. We're going to, I know I got like Google in the bottom and the voice in the chat room, but we'll just as for practice, what we're going to do is we're going to take it and we're going to take the saturation out. So we're going to look at it in its value scale. So we're going to desaturate it and we're going to analyze it and how we could make it look more painterly, or we could give it more depth. So as you can see right now, the value of this color that you have behind you, behind the figure, it's kind of blending in with the shirt and everything. So there's two ways we can make this more painterly and give it more, if we want to give it more contrast and more oomph, what we should do is take the background that we have here and change the value, not the color, but the actual value of that behind it. So whatever color it is, we're just going to take the value and lighten it. And watch what happens when we do that. The center figure will come out.
Yeah, it immediately pops up.
Yeah. So the more we change that value, not the color, okay, because I don't want you to confuse it with color. I want you to think of it as value. So when we go back to it, I'm going to undo brush tool, and we're going to go back to the actual, come on, go back to, how far can I go back? How many steps? There. So I'm going to take that color and we're going to change its value, not the color. And we'll take it like so. And then when we put it on, it's still the same color, but he now starts to come off the background. Is that not?
Yeah, it reads more like it's going away now.
Yeah, so now it has more depth. And if you wanted to make it look more like a painting, you have to make it have more depth in it. The second way to make it look more like a painting is to add paint strokes to it. So here's one of the things that separate graphic to painting. You see the shape here? How there's no painterly values in it. There's no changing of hue. It's a graphic shape. So what I would suggest is when you go to paint it, grab that color, do that thing with the opacity, and then I'm going to change the value just a little bit, and I'm going to start bringing up. See how I'm going up and down here instead of across?
Yes.
When I go up and down, it's all what's happening is I'm changing the value. And that brush that I got you guys to use has some texture in it. And this is purple over here, or pink. And change it just a little bit.
Yes, I see.
Yeah, and it starts to
It's
go.
volume out already.
Yeah, and it feels more. It's starting to come because we're doing it layer after layer after layer, transparency after transparency. It feels painterly and less graphic. So that's how you would create the illusion of paint. So I'm just going to play around. So the more we do this, the more painterly it becomes. And you don't want to get into too much detail into the background, but you could go a little painterly. Oh, do you guys know the keyboard command to do this? If you're on Photoshop, hit Shift and R, and then grab the paper. Shift and R, and you can spin your page anyway. And then to get it to go back, hit Escape. So Shift and R, and then Escape. And that will, because the reason why I'm showing you this is because I wanted all my brush strokes to go this way. And it just occurred to me that I never showed you guys that. So Shift and R, and then, yeah, that's very useful. Yeah, so what I suggest is we're going to make this more painterly. So I just changed the value a little bit. So I'm going to make it a little lighter in the background, and I'm going to create the illusion of like waves in here. And remember what I said about the opacity? And it's down really low, so it's building it up in layers. And now we're creating the illusion of depth with light. And we're also creating it more painterly. And then I hit Escape, and now you can start seeing how even that one little section is now starting to create the illusion of being painted. Now, another thing that we can make it look more painterly is that we're going to change the value from this side of the face to that side of the face. And because if we think of this as an egg and the light is over here, this side of the face is lighter and this side of the face has got the shadow, so it's darker. So what I'm going to do to make it look more painterly is I'm going to darken, not going to change the color, I'm just going to change the value. And I'm going to start painting his face in with a little bit of planes. We're going to darken this side of the face a little more. And then when we lighten the other side of the face, it's going to start appearing more round.
Hey, Alan, I'm gonna have to go.
Yeah, no problem.
But thank you for showing us all this tonight.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime you guys want to do this, I am totally available. And I know I'm probably, wow, it's almost 10 o'clock. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah. I'll see you later.
Well, thank you. Take care, Alan.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay. For the Mischief program, there's an email and activation code, but I put both of them on the text channel, so you'll need both of them to actually use the program. So I guess it's not really free, but since the license key is out in public, you can technically use it.
Yeah, thank you.
The company is giving you permission to use the access code and the thing, so don't think it's illegal. So
Oh, okay.
they're out of business, and the owner of the guy who created the program went and did that so that everybody who had a license or didn't have a license who wanted to use the program, because there's an organization that wants to bring it back, but that's never going to happen. So does that make sense, Manuela, how to make it more patron? Yeah.
Yes, it does. And like, yeah, now the light makes way more sense. Thank you.
Yeah, because the way you are looking at it and the way you're doing it, it is it's graphic, right?
Yeah.
And you did paint the dragon. You were painting the dragon, but the opacity is like paint, and it creates that illusion of layer after layer of more painterly. So, and I stress, when you're doing this, don't get caught up in the little tiny details, and just use big brushes and create those strokes, right? And have fun with it instead of getting caught up, because these lines are so perfect. They are so beautiful, but they're so perfect too. But if you want it to be painterly, we have to.
I wanted to kind of combine as like graphic, because it was a card, so for the characters I did want something more painterly.
Yeah, and if you play with these leaves too.
Yeah.
Because
I didn't even have time when we were doing this to get there, so I just put them there, but I did want it to get to...
But when you say you didn't have time, if you did it the way I'm showing you tonight, you would have lots and lots of time. It would be so much more. It'd be quicker and easier for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and
So
the way you guys have been thinking of Photoshop is so mechanical and so.
Yeah.
So
it's nice to have both.
Yeah.
It sort of takes a while for me to get used to, because since I make mistakes very frequently, I keep everything in like files and sections, and it is very difficult to navigate through. But when I'm trying to like color specific parts,